Hi, John here from John.tv. Just wanted to tell you a very quick story because it's quite an interesting story that's really changed my life. I was overseas just recently, and I was with a friend, and we were in the car, and we pulled up to a traffic light, and to the right there was a billboard about debt reduction, and my friend said to me, that's an awesome company, I really like that company, they did amazing things. And I was a bit surprised by that because this guy's a multimillionaire. I later found out that he went from having $20 in his pocket to being a multimillionaire in 3 years. Mostly because of a guy called Bob Proctor, but I'll talk about that in a second. But he told me about this debt reduction program because, well, he was impressed with them. And when the light went green, he didn't really talk about it anymore, and I was a bit confused because I was trying to work out why would he talk about that. Later on, the next day actually, got on a boat cruise and was speaking to a lady who wanted to achieve certain things in life. She goes, oh, I want to do this and I want to achieve this, and this is how it's all going to be done, but there's one piece missing. And I said, oh, what's that piece? She goes, I don't know how to fix this debt reduction piece. And it just dawned on me, that's why I have this information. So I passed that information on to her, and it fit exactly, and she was amazing. She was just super excited and thankful. And it occurred to me, how many things in life have come to me and I've not taken any notice of them when they could be the most important thing, not only to me but to someone else. So I thought, I'm going to keep my mind open. And what actually happened was, over the course of that weekend, I managed to land a multi-million-dollar deal. Now that might not sound surprising, but I don't earn anywhere near that. So I got together with a mastermind group on January 7, and we said we'd have a multi-million-dollar idea by December 1st of this year. Now, the week before the cruise, we went around the table and we all said what we'd achieved and what we need to do to get our $1 million deal. And very basically, no one was anywhere near the deal, and no one knew exactly what to do, including myself. So what actually made a difference was I was working with a friend of mine, Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor talks about multiple things, but one of the things he constantly talks about is a book called Think and Grow Rich, which I have a copy here. Here we go. This book was written by a guy called Napoleon Hill. He was commissioned by the richest man at the time, Andrew Carnegie, to write this book, to interview 500 of the most successful people of his time. They included Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison, and John Rockefeller. Now he took the essence of their work and put it in that book, Think and Grow Rich. That book was written by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill passed that message on to a guy called Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale founded the self-help industry. And then he passed that message on to a guy called Bob Proctor, who I've already mentioned. Now Bob told me to read that book every day. He's been reading that book every day for 40 years. And I thought, well, if he's doing that and he's massively successful, then there's something I need to know about it. And I actually came down to one specific page. I've even laminated it here. Now, and the one thing is, I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I'll demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards this attainment, and here and now promise to render such action. Now think about that. If you had persistent and continuous action towards anything, of course you can achieve anything. And I decided, well, I'm going to persist. And that's what actually happened. You know, when I went to a couple of weeks ago, when it came up to, you know, where are you at and what are you going to come up with, I still didn't know. But I decided I would persist and I would have continuous action. And I held in my mind the vision that I would have this $1 million idea. And fair enough, you know, in the week that followed, I got my $1 million idea. So I thought, Bob's onto something here. Imagine if you could learn something from Bob every single day. How valuable would that be? Well, that's why I want to talk to you about a program called 6 Minutes to Success. Bob talks to you for 6 minutes. You do a very short exercise, and you get to study with Bob Proctor. You get to learn the knowledge that's in Think and Grow Rich. You get to learn the knowledge that's in Bob's head. Here's a little card here, the little URL down the bottom. 6 minutes with Bob. Now I'll put it on the URL to the right here. But 6minuteswithbob.com is the site you go to get the lesson, the daily lesson from Bob Proctor, and it's less than $10 a day. Sorry, a week. I don't know how much more you want to earn in a week, but you know, $10 a week is nothing to get what you want. And I managed to land a multi-million-dollar deal from that. And something you should consider. So check it out, 6minuteswithbob.com.